Hey Avitas Group, thank you so much for joining me today for our very first CUE Community Connections. Today I have with me not only my friend, but she's also the Associate Professor at MSUB for the Outdoor Leadership Program. Is that correct? You can get a degree in that thing.
Yes.
You can get a degree in it. Anyway,
Yes,
she is here to talk to you about how to properly pack a backpack, your day essentials, and then we're also going to talk about the trekking poles and how to utilize those on your trek. Think that's fun?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's get after it.
All right, I'm going to talk about the essentials that you should have in your day pack anytime you go out on an adventure. There's several things to think about, and the weather changes all the time, and so we got to be prepared for that. So you always want to have a raincoat with you. Always have a raincoat with you. I also take extra layers with me of clothing, because you just never know when things are going to change. And there's also sometimes a survival situation where you might have to spend the night. So definitely take insulation layer, raincoat. I always take a beanie, a buff, and some lightweight gloves. Again, you never know when things are going to change. Also take extra footwear, which is meaning socks. Take extra socks with you. Remember, your feet are your mode of transportation, and so you got to take care of your feet at all times. You definitely want to protect yourself from the sun. So take a hat of some sort, all kinds of hats out there for you to use. Take your sunscreen. I've got sunscreen here. And this is heavy duty stuff. This is heavy duty sunscreen. And also some lip balm with some sunscreen in it to, like I said, protect yourself from the sun. Make sure that you have lots of water. There's different options for water. There's these soft-sided ones that have a tube that you can be sipping all day. I'll show you how to put that in the pack. And then there's the hard-sided water bottles. These are durable. You can drop them on rocks, and they're going to be good for the entire trip. So you want to have water. You also want to have the ability to either to gather water and purify it. I always take a SteriPen with me. It's easy, it's lightweight. You fill up your water bottle with unpurified water, and you can dip this in there, stir it around 90 seconds, and it's purified for you. So that way, if you do run out of the water that you're carrying, you can purify water and be safe in the backcountry. I also carry extra batteries with those as well, trying to be safe. Okay. Sometimes out there we have issues, and so I always take a first aid kit, and it also is a gear kit. So in this little packet I have first aid and gear repair. Sometimes we have to do our duty out there in the backcountry, so I always take with me a little shovel. It's called a trowel, and my trowel kit includes the trowel, some hand sanitizer, and some toilet paper. And I also take a little baggie. This is my personal waste baggie, in which I've covered it up so nobody has to look at my used toilet paper, but this is where my used toilet paper goes, inside this little baggie. All this goes in a Ziploc baggie as I call it trowel kit, some people call it poop kit. All right, we also need to plan just in case there's emergencies. We have to plan for shelter. So I always take a trash bag. It works great for shelter. You can YouTube that, how to use a trash bag for shelter in case you have to stay the night. I also take a footprint off my tent. Just carry that along with me. Again, great for shelter if needed. Hopefully not needed. Map and compass. Navigation system. Always important, but don't bother carrying it if you don't know how to use it. Okay? There's a lot of other high-tech navigation systems out there that can be used, but I definitely recommend having a map and compass, knowing how to use it before you go out. Okay? I always take my reading glasses as well so that I can read the map. No sense in having a map if you can't read it. Snacks are vital. If you're going out for a long time, take your snacks with you. What else? Light. Always take light with you. Always take a headlamp or a flashlight of some sort and some extra batteries to go with it. What else we got here? Fire starter kit. Always take something you can start a fire with. So I always take a lighter And I've got a little bit of dryer lint in this little container that's been soaked in Vaseline. So easy to start. So I got a lighter and some fire starter. You just never know when you might need that. And I always take a utility knife as well, a little multi-purpose tool. This has knife on it, screwdriver, so it's multi-purpose knife. All right, the last thing on this table here is the bear spray. And in some areas, you may not need it, but in this area, bear spray is very, in Montana, it's critical that you take this with you. All right, so I talked to you about what goes in your day pack. Now I'm gonna show you how to pack the pack. Most day packs nowadays have lots of compartments, so you're in luck with that. What you wanna think about when you're packing a pack is, I say the ABCs, okay? You wanna think about accessibility, you wanna think about balance, you wanna think about compression, and then you wanna think about having a streamlined pack. So, I'm going to go ahead and put the water in first. Most packs have a little pouch for the water, and so I'm going to slide that down in there. Water is going to be probably the heaviest thing you carry, and you want that sitting really close to your spine. You want the heaviest stuff next to your spine when you're thinking about packing your pack. And then, like I said, you want to have it compressed and balanced. So, and then accessibility. So I probably won't be using the trash bag unless it's emergency. So that's going to go on the bottom of my pack. Same with the shelter that I'm bringing along. This is only emergencies, so this can go down in the bottom of my pack. Don't need it readily accessible. Raincoat, again, checking the weather before I go. It'll determine where I pack this. It's a nice day. I'm going to go ahead and put it down on the bottom along with my extra insulation layer. And I want to use up all the space in my pack, so I'm compressing this down. That'll give me a nice balanced pack, compressed and balanced. Okay, again, my extra stuff can go down in there. All right, so now I've got my lighter, my stuff that I really don't need while I'm hiking down in there. Now I need to just think about keeping this pack balanced as best that I can. This I might need, it's a wind shirt, so I'm gonna leave that up on top. First aid kit and repair kit, hopefully I won't be needing that. So I'm gonna put it on one side. And then my water purification system, whoops, with battery. I'm going to go ahead and slide that down on the other side. So I'm keeping things balanced from side to side. All right. I also have my trowel kit. I'm going to try and keep that somewhat accessible. So I'm going to keep that up towards the top. Again, wind shirt, I might need that. It's heading in there. That's about all I'm going to need to put in the main compartment of my pack. The rest of this stuff we can put in the little compartments. I have a compartment back here that I call my safety compartment. So that's where I'm going to put my fire starter equipment and my extra batteries. I also, and I don't think I mentioned this before, I always take duct tape. Duct tape is like awesome for everything. So I always have a little bit of duct tape. It's wrapped around a pencil. Put that back in there. Up in the what's called the brain, this area, I'm going to put my headlamp, my sunglass case. I always take a case with me because sunglasses are very important. Keep our eyes protected, so I'm going to keep that up here and use my sunglass case up here so it's readily accessible. Reading glasses, if I need to read the map, I need those accessible. I'm going to throw the knife in there as well and my snacks. So now I've got my snacks readily available, and I take a break, I've got my snacks. Other things that I'm going to need, I'm probably going to be wearing my hat. The socks, I'm going to keep them on an outer compartment here. You never know when you do a stream crossing, socks get wet, you want those readily accessible. Map with my pack, it's got a great little slot right here for a map. Slide that in there, and again, all packs are designed differently. Go to the store, find one that looks like it's suited for you. People in the stores will do a great job of fitting packs for you. All right, so I have most of my stuff in here. A few things that I've left out, again, in my hat, which I'll probably wear, and sunscreen. With the sunscreen, I'm actually going to use these little side pockets so that I have easy access to the sunscreen and the lip balm so that I take care of myself with the sun. Okay? That's all that's going to go in the pack. Your bear spray is going to stay on the outside of the pack. Let's talk about putting this pack on safely and wearing it safely. Again, I've done my best to keep it the ABCs, accessibility, things I want, my snacks, my map, my compass, and it's balanced from side to side, top to bottom, and it's all compressed in there the best that I could, and it's streamlined. I don't have a bunch of stuff hanging on the outside. Anything that's hanging on the outside can be caught in shrubbery if you're going off trail, and it also can wobble you from side to side. Okay, so putting on the pack, you want to be safe, especially if it's a heavy pack. To protect yourself, you're going to grab it by the haul strap and one of the shoulder straps and just set it up on your knee. From there, you can slide into it real easily and put it on. When you're adjusting your pack, the most important part of the pack is the hip strap. You want that hip strap encompassing your iliac crest. I call these the impatient bones. People put their hands on their bone, these right here when they're impatient. But that's where you want the hip strap. And the hip strap is the most important part of the pack, that it fits snug and it is cinched up. You want most of the weight riding on your hips. Okay, you want most of the weight riding on your hips. And then just start adjusting things to make it comfortable on you. Every pack is going to be different. And you just got to find that happy place with the pack, the shoulder straps, the hip strap, and then what's called the sternum strap. These are also, they're adjustable up and down on the shoulder straps and cinch it up. These are just to keep the shoulder straps in place. Okay. I forgot the bear spray. Okay. This is actually going to, like I said, be on the outside of your pack. And you go ahead and put it on your hip belt. Make sure it is pointing outward when you put the case on there. From there, it rides where you need it. It's not in your pack. You don't have to fumble for it. And if need be, you can pop off the trigger guard and shoot from the hip, if need be. Hopefully you don't ever have to encounter that. All right, another essential tool for hiking is they can become more popular. Actually, I don't leave my home without them when I'm on my way out for an adventure. It's trekking poles. And there's a couple different varieties. Actually, there's 3 varieties in the trekking pole. There's fixed length, which they don't have a lot of versatility. And then there's these adjustable ones. I like the Z-fold poles because of their ability to fold up really, really small, and I would be able to just stuff these in my pocket of my pack when I'm not using them. And they're very adjustable. The other, like I said, there's fixed length poles, and I don't have a pair of those to show you. And then there's this other that are what you call telescoping trekking poles, and they adjust very easily with these snaps, and you can adjust those to your height. So I'm going to talk about adjusting them to your height. What you want to do is adjust them so that when you're on flat ground, your elbow is at 90 degrees. Okay? At 90 degrees. So you're going to take that pole and you're going to set it on the ground, and you're going to put your elbow at about 90 degrees and hang on to the handle and see where that is, and then adjust it accordingly. This, I can come up just a smidge. When you're putting the trekking pole, using the strap, you're going to want to go up through the strap and capture the strap as you're hanging onto the trekking pole. That way you don't have to have a death grip on it all the time while you're using it. The weight of your hand and your arm comes down on the strap, and again, you don't have to be having that death grip while you're walking. Okay? The benefits of having trekking poles is that they're going to transfer some of the force away from your ankles and your knees and your hips and into your arms and into your upper body. They also give you balance, and they also give you stability in uneven terrain. Okay? They can also give you traction, and I'm going to demonstrate that a little bit as we go uphill. Okay? But to start with, again, on flat ground, these trekking poles can give you balance and stability, but you don't want to have them being used against you. So you want to make sure that you're planting near your foot and you're walking in opposition, just like you would walk down the street. You would walk in opposition, and you're planting them behind you so that you can actually push off on them, and it's going to project you forward a little bit. All right, so if you are going to be hiking uphill a lot, or even steep stuff, now's the time to quickly adjust these and make them a little bit shorter so that you are not jamming them into the side of the hill. So I'm going to make these just a tad shorter. So if I had them really long, they would be sticking out in front of me, and that would be really tough on my arms. So I'm going to have them a little bit shorter because I'm climbing, and I'm still using the same technique. Okay? I'm planting them, and I'm using that traction to get myself uphill. We now transition to going downhill. If you're going downhill for a significant amount of time, you can now lengthen the trekking poles because they're going to be out in front of you, and the ground in front of you is going to be lower. So when you're descending, you're going to have this, you're going to change your method a little bit because you are actually now going to have your poles out in front of you, because now they're going to give you some balance, more balance and stability as you're going down steeper stuff. You can see I also changed my grip. This can also be done to give you a little bit more length. So I've put my hands up on top, and so I'm just walking with my hands on top of the trekking pole down the steep slope.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today for Lynn's presentation. You did a great job.
Thank you. That was fun.
It was really fun. So I invite you to join us again next month, and our topic is going to be, it's a surprise. So stay tuned.
That's fantastic.
It's a surprise, and we just want to thank you, and go out into the mountains, have a good time. You have all the essentials, and we'll see you out there.